Alright, today we're taking a look at a mishmash of two different strong decks. This is what I'm calling Emery Mill, and it's a combination of your classic Mesmeric Orb Mill decks and a Emery Lurker of the Lock, if I can highlight her, an Artifact Synergy deck. So pretty interesting combination here that seems to slot together pretty well with not too much overlap. Mesmeric Orb being both an artifact and a central part of a mill strategy is pretty nice. And Emery just being able to grind Mishra's Bauble value is good on its own. However, you can now deal with any removal for Mesmeric Orb and things of that nature. Additionally, Emery the Lurker of the Lock can combo with Terizian Mindbreaker, which, while being a creature card that we normally unearth from the graveyard, can actually also be a artifact creature and can be cast from the graveyard. So pretty cool. Other than that, I mean, you're going to notice that a lot of the cards in this deck are going to be very similar to what you see in a lot of these types of decks. We are running the Drown in the Locks that get turned on with just one black mana. Otherwise, we're all mono blue. You have your counter spells for permission. You have Brainstorm to draw some cards. We have one of Urza's Silex in order to have a one-time board wipe. Also allows us to find our Jaces to potentially finish off an opponent, which is good. Reenact the Crime is a new card for the channel. This one is very good at using all the things that we mill in the graveyard, so not only are we a symmetrical mill deck, we get value with Reenact the Crime and Emery Lurker of the Lock and our synergy with Terizian Mindbreaker. Of course, Jace the Perfected Mind here, a very prominent card in those mill decks, is going to be able to mill for up to 15 at a time, depending on how we cast him. So that will be very, very good. Other than that, we are just a blue-black deck, so you'll see our Undercity Sewers making an appearance here today in order to surveil. With an Emery deck, that is pretty nice to be able to do at your beck and call. Two Brazen Borrowers here round out the cards that I haven't touched before, and then of course Mox Amber here to make blue mana for Emery. And all in all, this should be a very, very strong deck. We're hoping to get Mesmeric Orbs out early, mill ourselves, maybe bring back a Terizian Mindbreaker, allow it to attack once and cut our opponent's deck in half. We hope to be able to just Emery value. We need to be able to get some Jaces onto the battlefield. And hopefully we can have a game in here today where we have 4 Mesmeric Orbs on the battlefield. That'd be pretty sick. But the deck's pretty linear, pretty straightforward. We are going for our proactive game plan today, so hopefully we can get that to happen here in round 1. Before we hop in, make sure to like and comment on the video, helps me out a bunch, and subscribe for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. See you in round 1. Alright, here's round 1. Let's go. We have an Emery, and she is accelerated to turn 2 by this Mox Amber, but otherwise this hand doesn't really do a whole lot. If we can find a Bauble, this Emery hand starts to go off. Maybe it's just we try to get an Emery down and then hold up Counterspell. I think that's a pretty rickety start, but I'll give it a try since opponents also kept 7. Alright, we don't see black mana. Okay, so this is like some weird goblin combo deck. Oh, this is actually just a turn 1 Emery. Perfect. So I think for that reason we will shock. One artifact, 2 artifacts. That is a 1 mana Emery on turn 1. Let's go. Love to see it. And if we can hit an artifact here, that'd be even better. It's all good. We have this Mishra's Bauble to look at their top. Another goblin. And we get to draw. So now next turn we surveil, recast our Mishra's Bauble, and then we have Counterspell to be held up. Runevelt Hordemaster. Alright. I'm wondering if I just Terizian Mindbreaker at the earliest opportunity. Alright. So, we're definitely recasting Mishra's Bauble. I'll play the Surveil land for now because we have access to Counterspell mana. Surveil, let's get rid of Reenact the Crime. And then we will Bauble them again. Just the land, okay. And no need to play another Amber yet. We'll do it next turn to cast, to unearth rather, Terizian Mindbreaker. That will put them to 26. Then the Jace minus can bring them pretty close to death. Goblin Matron. Do I feel okay about that? Let's counterspell it, because I'm going to try to mill half their library, which we probably want to have a chance at removing the best of their threats. So I think this is the one that I counterspell here. Interestingly enough. There's some damage. They know that we are not really doing anything to stop them. Let's do this. We'll run Terzian Mindbreaker out. We will hit them for 4, or for 6, and mill half their library. Alright, that's pretty good. And I don't think we lose next turn. We'll go Emery here, recast Mishra's Bauble. Look at the top of theirs. We do see Iron Crag Feet, so is this any, like, Belcher deck or something? Or are they just using it for fun and profit? Either way, we can't cast anything else this turn, so we let the Terzian Mindbreaker get exiled. And let's take a look at this deck. So I see Iron Crag Feats. There's 1 Muxus, 1 Kranko. That's 2 Iron Crag Feats. So we actually didn't really hit much. We kind of helped them get to a point where they are likely to hit good cards if they can find the mana for it. They just need a little bit more here. Goblin Matron does find them a creature, which is bad. Guess they go for a Kranko, or a Muxus here. Skirk Prospector, so they have Muxus in hand. Alright, so if we can kill the Skirk Prospector, we do it. Other than that, oh, they're actually going to go for the Runevelt Hordemaster now. Okay. Well, they're getting closer to a Jace kill, so that's good. Let's see who's going to crack first here. I think I might need to reenact the crime on a Drown in the Loch to kill the Skirk Prospector so that they don't have enough for Muxus mana here. The other Goblin Trap Finder. I'm not seeing that they have it here. Their Muxus would still cost 4. And can they give haste? Not yet. They have 2 more mana. I don't think they get to 6 damage in any sort of configuration here. Alright, so we just take 4. Now they could have cast that Goblin Instigator. Alright, so they exile the top 2. That puts them at 18 cards. We are so close. So close, but not quite there. Alright, so I need to keep my mana up. If we go like this. So is it going to be reenact the crime is the question. I'm just worried that they have a Muxus. I think I need to just reenact the crime. And am I off in terms of mana? Oh, anywhere this turn. That's right, that's right. Yeah, I guess I go redraw Mishra's Bauble then. Or do I need to block? Is the card better or is the block better? I can Jace plus recast Bauble. I think I need to recast Mishra's Bauble. They don't have haste yet, so I'm not totally dead. Now we look at what's on their top. We hope it's not bad. Battlecry Goblin, uh-oh. Yeah, that's actually an issue for me. So then now I need to Jace. We'll do Jace for max. because, well, okay, I could have up to 3 mana after this, which ends up not totally mattering. 4 mana. If I do it for 3 mana, I can hold up a Drown in the Loch if I draw it through my Bauble. But then I go to 6, and then I for sure die. So I have to just pay the full mana. I should have probably held this black mana up. Oh god. I can draw 3 cards by milling them. So that presumably takes away their haster. Get 3 here. I can now play this Mox Amber, Legend Rule it to recast an Emery. Now I have a blocker. We want to take this one. Yep. There goes the new Emery. We will mill another 4. We keep the untapped card. So now we have a blocker. We finally find the first of our Mesmeric Orbs, which is kind of wild. But they need to kill us this turn, otherwise we have them dead. So it's up to them to see what kind of turn they can put forward. If they have a haster, they kill us. Has to be the card they drew. Wily Goblin. Okay. And they can look pretty deep here. They're going to go just about to the end of their library. You can take a look at what we've milled so far. So, Runevelt, Chieftain, Battlecry are probably the... Actually, it's just Battlecry, Chieftain that are the 3 scary ones. Let's just see what they end up exiling. That is a Runevelt Horde Master. Not exactly what they wanted. Let's see if they cast that and go for the card exile card advantage. Another Skirk Prospector is fine. That's just essentially a storm card for them now. So they decided to go for more single Runevelt Hordemaster triggers. They could have played the second one and then continued to start sacking. They have not elected to do so though. Okay, so now they're doing that. This is a little late, and they also might have wanted to use their treasure and mountain for this rather than have already started sacking creatures, so they're not fully optimal here. Alright, there goes something with haste. Exile another 2. So this is a Muxus now, which they can cast, and that could be enough. I think they just sack everything for this Muxus, and they even get to have the Skirk Prospector after. This could be bad. Alright, so that is the Muxus leaving Skirk Prospector behind, I think. And we might be done for. We can block the Muxus. Alright, and what do they get? They can give things haste, but it's not lethal. I think we're okay. Yeah, we'll take 5 damage max. Yeah, no, we're fine. Yep, that's 4 damage. Alright, well, they'll swing all in, I take it. Forcing us to sack our Emery. And instead they pass, alright. Nice. Alright, so then we'll just go ahead and mill for the final 4. That is a Jace -3. Resolve. They'll mill the rest of their library and draw from an empty deck. We'll go ahead and show them the second Jace here and show them the remaining cards in our deck, or half of them that is. Alright, and just for some knowledge for them, we'll go ahead and pass. Alright, cool, so if they want to see the deck now they can, and we'll pass on to their turn. Alright, so that's the first mill victory down in round 1. Pretty solid, even though it really went down to the wire. Let's go into round 2 and try for it again. Here we go. Alright, here we go, round 2. We have the artifacts, but no Emery to start off. How do I think about this? Well, We do eventually get a Jace that does turn on Drown in the Lock. I'm not super happy about it, but I'm not super unhappy, so I think maybe if we get a lucky mulligan from our opponent, we can mulligan ourselves, otherwise we keep. That is how I'm thinking about it right now. The ideal hands are early Emrys that allow us to cast more of our spells off of these Mox Ambers, but having a Mox Amber is nothing but another body on the field, essentially, whenever we have it in the opening hand without an Emry. So they've mulliganed, we will as well. This does have Emry plus Mishra's Bauble, so I'm into it. Drown in the Lock number 2 can go away, I think. Opponent's been taking a while on these mulligans. They take a little less time for the second one, so now we know that it's on. Mono black magic sleeves. Let's see if they are indeed mono black. They are. This is probably Thoughtseize to rip right off the bat. I take it we lose Emry here. Mishra's Bauble is going to end up in the graveyard anyway. Oh, that's actually surprising. So we can shuffle away things that we don't want at some point. I am interested in probably hiding information at some point, so I think we start with a Watery Grave. Why I shock that, I cannot tell you. Because we want to brainstorm the same turn that we Flooded Strand. So we discard something here. They have Field of Ruin, so we're going to want to avoid fetching our basics for now. I don't need double Brainstorm. And then I think we just Brainstorm and leave on top something that we do want to have. So we actually have backup Emry now. We'll shuffle away one Emry and maybe, I guess, just draw the Flooded Strand then. Draw the Flooded Strand, it's on top, perfect. Move to turn, we draw. Here is the Flooded Strand, which we'll use to shuffle away our Emry. And we can decide if we need to shock for Drown in the Lock or get a secondary Surveil. Then turn 3, it'll probably be Emry. There's always Jace as well. They are doing something that looks a lot like Orcish Bowmasters. I think that a Jace plus is in order then. Possibly Emry as well, actually. Okay, so there is the Orcish Bowmasters. Yeah, I'm not mad about that. I think I'll probably just Emry. Yeah, I'm gonna Emry first, I'd say. The worst that happens is my Emry loops of Mishra's Bauble just mean that Jace's loyalty can't go permanently up. We will grab a Surveil land. Don't need white mana yet. Brainstorm, is that useful for me right now? I think I'd like to draw that. I think I would like to draw that. Wait, no, not into Orcish Bowmasters. What am I saying? Okay. We'll pay 2 life. We'll Emry. If we draw a land, we go Drown in the Lock into something. Yeah, maybe Drown in the Lock into Brainstorm, even if we don't draw it. Dark Ritual. Shieldred, maybe? The One Ring, okay. We still can't kill a Shieldred, which is not good for us. Another Swamp. No Thoughtseize. We find the Polluted Delta, so I could even Jace into that. I think I'll just Drown in the Lock now. We'll destroy the Bowmasters. We are now free to Emry. Activate on our Mishra's Bauble, unless we go Mesmeric Orb. Now, what do we think about Mesmeric Orb? That's actually a pretty good one. Let's start with that. We want to shock here. They do still have that Field of Ruin. We do have enough basics that that's probably not going to really bother us that much, so I think I will actually just get a blue mana source. There is a Mesmeric Orb. We'll hopefully find something to work with here, and then we'll mill 5 on our turn. So I'm hoping that one of those items ends up being something that we want to recast with Emry. Teresian Mindbreaker could go ham here as well. Alright, Outrageous Robbery. Not a common card to see in mono black. Looks like it's just mono black, not really mid-range, but just mono black control. Liliana the Veil, so we lose Emery here.
Enough
So
with
sad.
the mysteries. I've come.
Makes sense. There goes Emery. So now we
Haven't you
mill
ever
a
heard
decent
of
amount.
personal space?
This Jace ticking down would be great for me, though. He would go to 3, which means they would need 2 Bowmasters in order to trigger it. Alright, oh nice, a Drowning Lock's actually pretty solid. So we'll just do a full cost Jace right now. Let's go ahead and have them mill 3. I see Shieldred in there. We have a land now for Brainstorm. We will respond to the Bowmasters, I think. So now they're in danger of losing life with the One Ring, getting milled by just my general game plan. And I think that things are looking good. We see some removal spells go to the bin. That's great. That's the second outrageous robbery. The One Ring goes down again. What are the odds they drew double Bowmaster here? Who knows? I think I don't allow for double Bowmaster yet. Now I have to draw into the lock. We will do our 3 draws here. Okay, so nothing to shuffle, so we will go, I guess, Borrower. We'll redraw the Watery Grave. I'd like the Threat of Borrower. Yeah, let's do that. So we draw the Watery Grave. Perfect. No, we're going to mill it. Oh, God. So dumb. Whatever, it's fine. We have removal for Shieldred like multiple times. We probably want to get rid of Drowning Lock, I'd say now. Yeah, this is a little unfortunate. They have Thoughtseize here. This is actually a very bad situation for me. Looks like we might luck out here. Okay, Jace goes to 2. We are fine to play Hellbent. Alright. Let's do all this stuff. Ooh, lose another Jace, though. Yeah, I guess I didn't need to do it in that order. Let's go ahead and kill Shieldred. And we will lose some life here. I guess I just have to Jace plus. I mean, while there's only 1 creature on the battlefield, Jace can actually start to tick up. Now, Urza's Silex would be kind of interesting, but we're milling that thing for right now. Opponent's got 32 cards left, soon to be mid-20s. Our life total's safe, and they take a shock, or a lightning bolt, in fact, from the One Ring every turn currently. We mill the Bowmasters, which is huge. That is probably their best card in addition to Shieldred against us. Let's do a quick count of what we've seen so far. Oh, Devious Cover Up. Yikes. 1 Shieldred, 2 Bowmasters? Yeah, 1 Shieldred, 2 Bowmasters. Alright. They have a lot of cards. And then we are slightly ahead in the cards and deck department. 22 in the graveyard, so this Jace minus now draws me 3. That Bowmasters is tough. That Bowmasters is tough. So Jace will be stuck on 2 loyalty for quite a while. They'd have to find another Bowmasters. Ooh, Blood Beckoning. So there goes 2 Shieldreds back to hand. Everyone will discard, sure. So they want to go for Lily minus. Realm Breaker's in that deck. How interesting. Alright, no attacks to be made here. Yeah, I mean, we're not in exactly a great situation. The Terzian Mindbreaker is pretty good. I almost say we just try to kill Liliana with this. Alright, well, the Unearth is a good idea. It's either got to be Liliana or just go face. I think we got to go face. They're taking damage with the One Ring. No, but they get Shield Druid back next turn, so we have to get ready to play a long game. We kill Liliana, or at least kill one of their creatures. Alright, 10 cards left in library. A Jace honestly does it for us. That is fine. And if we Jace minus, it's bad. That is 6. Okay, so yeah, you know what? We go +1, get the Bowmasters. They will draw one this turn. We'll draw a few this turn. Oh, you know what? Yeah, they were dead. Darn. Mesmeric Orb math has escaped me. The idea was we would basically +1 Jace. Orcish Bowmasters doesn't hit him, then we -9. However, we don't even need 9. We just needed 4, which we had. So they can draw a bunch of cards if they want. We will discard another Trizian Mindbreaker. And I think even through the blunder, it's going to be okay. They cannot deal 8 damage to us from this position. We'll go down to 6. And we Jace to finish them off. If they attempt to draw out the One Ring, it's over. They can Field of Ruin me. They could Bowmasters me. It is all totally fine. Waiting to see what they do. I think they're kind of just trying to analyze the board right now. If they end up roping me out, then we will just... I'll mute my recording, and we will just let that thing run out. Looks like they'll be gracious about it and pass through. We mill. They have to mill 4 anyway, so we can actually just pass the turn back. And Reenact the Crime is pretty good. So Reenact the Crime could be used to replay the Trizian Mindbreaker for free. Alright, and I guess we will cast that. Now we have a blocker for Shield Druid. And, yeah, I mean, let's just go ahead and minus on the Shield Druid, make that a little tinier. And, let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. They have 4 tap things and 4 cards in deck, so we are good. We'll draw from an empty library here, and we will win the game. Hopefully my voice was okay. There towards the end I was mumbling a little bit and far away from the mic, but regardless, that is a win and a good round 2 at that. Here comes round 3. Alright, round 3. Trizian Mindbreaker ×2, Mesmeric Orb. I don't think this hand's a keep even if my opponent were to take 7. They do. We will happily go down by 1. I think here... Trizian Mindbreaker is definitely better milled over. Tapped Grave. I think we can probably assume that they don't have Thoughtseize here, but I'm willing to get blown out by that. Alright, cool. Just mono load. We will go ahead and do our thing here. There's an Emery. Whether or not they Swords to Plowshares her, that is a mill 4, putting a Trizian Mindbreaker into the graveyard, so we can actually just shock the Watery Grave and bring that back next turn. Opponent says that they don't want to see that happening. That will be a win in round 3, which I think we'll go ahead and just add to a re-record here. I'm going to go ahead and re-queue. That was far too fast. Just over a minute in terms of the recording from the initial mulligans to the concession. Alright, we'll run it back here. Hopefully the recording, or the queue won't take too long. It's right smack in the middle of the evening, so I think that we should have a quick one, and we do. Alright, here we go. We run it back. Let's hope for a good first starting hand here. So, we're recording round 3. We have double Reenact the Crime this time. I think similar to the last hand that we took, I'm going to just say we don't keep this one, even if they were to keep 7. Hopefully my opponent is here to pick their first hand. They are, and they mulligan, so that's great for us. This one's good. We have an artifact to cheapen our Emery. However, it's a Mesmeric Orb, so we're still playing Emery on turn 3. We'll keep 6, get rid of Reenact the Crime. Here we go. This does work out well because we can do the Meticulous Archive. Here's that. Surveil. I think we want a Jace. I think a Jace is good. Jace does soak up a lot of damage. Mono, sure. Well, they're going very aggro here. Well, bouncing the Monastery Swiftspear is kind of a bad idea here, unfortunately. Same with the Kumano. This is non-creature for prowess, yeah. Alright, we'll just Mesmeric Orb here. We're hoping to get an Emery out quick. And then we're hoping to mill their damage spells. It is already not looking great here, being at 12 mana. 12 life, sorry. This next creature comes in big. And then... okay, not a creature. If they don't play a creature, that is great with the Kumano. Oh man, yeah, they didn't have a creature to play. Alright. Things are maybe okay. So, I have access to 3 mana here. I can put a flyer out, that does nothing. In my graveyard, there are no artifacts. I think I still play Emery. I think I get a Polluted Delta for Surveil Land. And they probably have damage spells here. If they kill Emery, at least that's been used on the creature, not my face. No artifacts into the graveyard. We will crack the Polluted Delta on their end step, unless we go too low in life. Double trigger. Alright, glad that both of those didn't get drawn. That's perfect for me. We're looking at least another 3 damage. We could die this turn. Brutal. I might not be able to activate this Polluted Delta. Luckily, actually, Searing Blood is a non-bow with Etching of Kumano. So now we have the ability to use our Polluted Delta for mana. You gotta just take it. We do not immediately die. Resolves. We get a Surveil Land. We want a removal spell, which we do play in this deck. A Trisian Mindbreaker will go to the graveyard. Move to my turn. Triple mill. There's the artifact that we needed. Find a Brazen Borrower. So we can now bounce their whole board. If I were to pay 4 mana... okay, this involves a bit of a risk. So they didn't play this card in their hand last. It could be damage. I gotta imagine that I'm probably at like 1 life. I think that means that I do need to double Brazen Borrower. But even then, Monastery Swiftspear has haste. So I should probably play towards this not being a damage spell. And then I just need to set up for like a good next turn. So I think the best thing to do is to start with a Jace. Jace plus. Jace plus on the thing that can grow the biggest. And then we just pray that we don't die. Alright, screw the Quirrix off the top. We have milled away a lot of problem things. But I think we died almost anything that they play. Wow, that's the one thing that we don't die to right now. Okay. We go to 1, we're still alive. And now we're dead. Okay, so one of the things that was still in their hand probably was the DRC. Maybe it was a Static Discharge. But regardless, they're going to take this one. So the real round 3 was a resounding win. The actual secondary re-record, not so much. But overall, good round 3 as a whole. Here comes round 4. Let's go. Alright, it's round 4. Games have been good so far. I'm hoping that these next ones continue that trend. Good on the artifacts, bad on the not having Emery, but I'll keep this hand. Where's the Dream Den? We might be getting Thoughtseize here. No, it's probably just a bunch of small creatures. We can go Undercity Sewers for now, play some of those 0 drops. I think we'd rather draw the Mishra's Bauble. Round up runes, so they do want to deal less damage. Alright. There's a Mox Amber. We do not need to hide that we are a artifact synergy deck. Now the question is, will there be an opportunity for me to hold up Drown in the Lock or Counterspell ever? There's the ruins, there's the Kumano. Might not have an opportunity for this Counterspell, it might be a little narrow. Mishra's Bauble, here it comes. Bump in the night, that sucks. Well, I think that we know our life total's in a whole lot of danger. We have to just pass. It's against a matchup like this that I'm sad for not having a Fatal Push in the deck. But overall, I think maybe I wouldn't really want to have more than 1 or 2 of those. So we're at 7. Will there be more damage? No, it'll be a shock and then holding up something. Removal, maybe? They have things in the graveyard now, so I can kill the Monastery Swiftspear. Urza's Silex is a thing that exists. I could also go to 5 with the Jace, but then we go to 3 because of the Kumano. That is a little awkward, isn't it? I think it is just Drown in the Lock, Brazen Borrower, and or Counterspell. Yeah, that's sure not great. I think that is not allowed to happen. And then whenever they decide to buy that Loris, we have to deal with that as well. Oh, and it's a Ragavan dashed. We do not survive. And to play with fire to finish it off. Alright. Well, that is a Delver-style aggro deck for you. They are very, very fast. Alright, round 4 done. Here comes round 5. Not much to say other than that. It was a quick in, quick out. Alright, 5th and final round. Alright, we finally have the turn 2 Emery that we wanted. This is a definite keep 7. Alright, Meticulous Archive, Surveil 1. Figure out if we want to draw it. Yeah, I think this has to be binned. We play the Bauble, so we get our turn 2 Emery after we play our land drop. We will wait a tiny little bit. This is probably lands. Oops. To touch them and not look at their very cool animated sleeves. These are very cool. Anyway, our Boreal Grazer down. It will drop another land here. That is the early Field of the Dead. I think I am at an advantage if I start to mill them early. So I think this Mesmeric Orb is something that I want to be already having. So we take a basic here, I guess. Get an Emery. Oh, no, not Emery out. We were doing a Mesmeric Orb. Alright, so that does help me double spell next turn at the very least. I think I don't draw with the Mishra's Bauble. We want to be able to do our Emery thing. Take away some of their acceleration here. I forget if that Sylvan Scrying was put on the top of their library last turn or if they cast it. No matter. Windswept Heath into Sylvan Scrying again. You got it. I mean, we're just about to have a turn where we draw 4 cards, so that's fine. They go for second Field of the Dead. I take it they find something that produces green here and go for a natural order on the Arboreal Grazer, so If I brainstorm next turn and don't find a drown in the lock, then that might just happen. Yeah, I gotta look for a counterspell of some sort. Oh, well, now they have redundant things going on here. Alright, there's Field of the Dead. So now we need specifically counterspell. Alright. Well, we didn't mill any of the things that we were hoping to get. I could Polluted Delta, Brainstorm, shuffle away some stuff, and then have Mishra's Bauble. So we shuffle away 2 lands. Probably not one of the lands that hurts me, or like we keep one of the lands that doesn't hurt me. Submit 2. And it's a little unfortunate because we don't have a Mox. If we had the Mox, then I can go Emery into Mishra's Bauble, potentially draw the counterspell. Now it's just going to be double Mishra's Bauble, hope to find counterspell, but then I would not be able to do it with Emery. They have 4 cards in graveyard. They'll have 5 after the sacrifice, 6 after the natural order. So later drawing a wherever it is, Drown in the Lock would still be able to kill the primetime. They would get their initial primetime trigger. So that is what it is. I think we go Emery now. We're gonna mill the cards that are on the top. We do have a Terzian Mindbreaker in the graveyard now, which is great. I say that we just look at their draw now. Blast Zone. Good to know that that exists. Oh, I should have waited for these to happen. It's all good. They are going to Forest Cycle now. Makes sense. There's the forest. And there is 1 mill of Field of the Dead, and there's a natural order gone by, which is great. We just have to dodge the other natural orders this turn. It'd be great, but I think they're going to play it here. No, it's not. Oh, that's just Mesmeric Orb going away. Whoa, alright. That's totally fine. Alright, so let's channel that away, essentially. Well, not really a channel. It's definitely just a sorcery adventure. Alright, so it looks like we're alive for another turn here. We actually can just recast Mesmeric Orb, which is hilarious. All that's really happened is I didn't mill myself. Let's target them. Alright, so we know that it's probably not natural order again. Or we probably know that it's not natural order. That means that I'm probably going to do this now. Get a Surveil land. Last Surveil land. See what we find. Mox Amber is great. We draw the Mox Amber. And there's another land. Okay, so here's Mox Amber. We have 4 mana. We Emery, getting the Mesmeric Orb back. That can go. We're not worried about our life total right now. Shocking does nothing, so we just put this in tapped. And we pass. Alright, more mill for them. Alright, Fierce Empaths we have to worry about. Crater Hoof, possibly. They might have like a 1 or 2 of in there. There's the Primeval Titan. 1, 2, 3, 4 unique land types, so they'll be up to 6 here. It's not a Field of the Dead trigger yet. Now, I'm considering Terzian Mindbreaking. We mill. I do have Reenact the Crime. Reenact the Crime can get Jace. That mills for 15. That could also... I can also recast Mesmeric Orb number 2. That means that this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 cards. Bringing them down to pretty close to death. We actually might just go... Oh, but I can't Trizian Mindbreaker this turn. If Emery needs to chill this turn, that might have to happen. So we go like this. Oh, no, we have exactly 6 mana. Okay, perfect. So we go Mesmeric Orb, making sure that we have enough mana to cast it. We'll go black. And then now it doesn't really matter. White, Mesmeric Orb, resolves. Now Trizian Mindbreaker Unearth. Swing in. So we mill them for about 17. They have 17 left. This is now 14 cards, so when their Primeval Titan attacks, they shouldn't be able to find any more lands. Okay, looks good. They'll need to kill me next turn, which I don't think a Primeval Titan can do. Interesting that they're not chump blocking here. That may mean that they have Craterhoof Behemoth as an option. Alright, a lot of mills happening. That's 14. Kind of wish they would consolidate all these triggers on MTG Arena. And so they are going to be left with, I believe, 3 cards. Oh, there is the one of Craterhoof Behemoth. We did find it. 2 cards left in library after the draw. I don't really see how they do it from here. It's another Primeval Titan. Let's see if their last card's a land. We know their last card is not, in fact, a land. Or their remaining 2 cards are not. And, yeah, that'll just about be it. We're going to mill a bunch on our turn, but then we'll just go ahead and pass it right back to them. Cool. I think what we will play around is the worst case scenario of the one of the last 2 cards being a Gaia's Blessing. Alright, looks like they don't have it. But that's the one thing that gets us there as a mill deck. I would probably have just started getting a Jace going on if that were the case. Anyway, ended round 5 super strong. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck as a whole. This was a really fun one to record as usual. Make sure to check out the deck list in the video description. Make sure to like and comment on the video. Helps me a bunch. Subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out.